All right, are we ready? All right.
Okay, we're ready.
Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you for coming to the half day of Global Symposium on Natural and Agricultural Bioresources Management in collaboration between Ikatan Ilmuwan Indonesia International, I-4, and Shimane University. Without further ado, we would like to welcome Professor Masunaga from Shimane University and all the faculty members of Shimane University, and also the I-4 scientific clusters, which is resided in Japan, and all our guest speakers from Indonesian Embassy of Tokyo and other universities around Indonesia and Japan. Without further ado, we would like to welcome Dr. Davin Setiamarga, the head of Natural and Agricultural Bioresources Management, to give his opening speech in this event. And then we would like to welcome Professor Yoshida from Shimane University to be in charge of the Master of Ceremony of today's event.
Okay, so good morning, everyone. So I'd like to introduce first speaker. He's a moderator of this symposium, Dr. Davin Setiamarga from Wakayama College of Then actually he made us many effort to make this symposium. Then Dr. Setiamarga, please.
Okay, thank you very much.
先生の見えますのでください。はい、共有を。日本語出てましたかね。
消えた？
いい。はい、これで OK で。
それ別に買うんですよ。
見えるはず。
見せないといけない。
今画面を変えますので。はい。
英語だな。
英語です。
もう進んだ。Good morning, to the audience. First, I would like, as the chair of the division of Natural and Agricultural Bioresources Management of Ikatan Ilmuwan Indonesia International, I-4, I would like to welcome all participants and also faculty members of Shimane University, and also to His Excellency Professor Amsul Rivin from, and also Dr. Andi Hidayat from the Embassy of Indonesia. So today I'm going to give a hopefully short opening talk. First, I'd like to introduce myself first. I'm an Indonesian. I was born in Bogor, but now I hold a tenured faculty position at the National Institute of Technology, Wakayama College. I wrote this in Japanese. I forgot to translate. I'm very sorry. And besides that, technical problem, as always. Hi. So I also hold several different other positions, visiting associate professor at Toyohashi University of Technology and also at IPB University in Indonesia, besides holding visiting research position at Wakayama Prefectural Museum of Natural History and the Research Museum of the University of Tokyo. One of the reasons why the symposium is being held in person at Shimane University is because, of course, many of our event has been conducted mainly online because of COVID. While COVID did force us to develop technology so that everybody from around the world can join a symposium online, we'd like to also do this in a hybrid style so that we're not losing the offline pace of the symposium. And then I have done a lot of research with Shimane University together. Most of my research actually is done through collaboration with Professor Yoshida at Shimane University. So I brought this idea to Professor Yoshida, and he agreed to basically hold a joint symposium between our division and I-4. So this is my lab at Wakayama College. This is where it's located. It's in the middle of nowhere, so it's in Kampong, in Japan. So the number of the population of the city where my college is located is half the number of students from IPB University, less than half. So it's a very, very small village. So this is our event today. While from the Indonesian participants already know about what's going on with this, I would like to shortly give a short introduction about our association. So basically, our association is similar to Nihon Gakujutsu Kaigi of Japan. And but in Indonesia, we have two separated association. The one holding this symposium, I-4, World Association of Indonesian Academicians, is actually being composed not only of Indonesians in Indonesia, but also mainly being organized and directed by Indonesians working as faculties or scientists, research scientists outside of Indonesia globally. While the one in Indonesia is being called ALMI, Akademi Ilmuwan Muda Indonesia, is the one being connected. So we always do collaboration and discussion. So, for example, I'm also a member of ALMI, while some ALMI members also a member of I-4. Today's event is being organized by Ikatan Ilmuwan Indonesia International of the Division of Natural and Agricultural Bioresources Management. So, Siseng no Gyo Seibusu Sigeng Kangri Hankagi, which I happen to be, unfortunately, the chair. So I'm going to also present some of the research I did in my lab, which I actually am doing in collaboration with Shimane University, with Yoshida Sensei mainly. So for example, my lab basically works on biodiversity genomics, where I do a lot of genomics, genome analysis and molecular biology analysis to assess biodiversity. One example is, this is a very old research that I did. This is about the evolution of Japanese medaka. We use genomic data and molecular clock to figure out how this the two populations in Japan evolved in conjunction with the geological history of Japan. And 10 years later, we concluded the study by adding samples from, so as you see, medaka here, as you can see from the diagram over there, most medaka actually, Indonesia has a lot of medaka species, while in Japan, there's only one species. So later on, 10 years later, we got some samples from India, and we found out that the medaka in India is actually the ancestor to all of the other medaka in Asia. And also, this is the one I also did with Yoshida Sensei, mainly, phylogenomics of the octopuses. So here, we've using mitochondrial genomics, we found out that the octopus is actually not a monophyletic genus. So probably you might want to reconsider what you eat, what you put inside your takoyaki, because that's not necessarily a taco. And also, of course, we also did molecular evolution analysis, and then we found out that the diversification process of the octopuses actually was influenced by geological events in the past, like global warming and ice age. We also tried to do museomics. So basically, we tried to gather molecular information, such as both DNA and other macromolecules such as proteins and glycoproteins from museum samples, because we think museum collections is actually very, very valuable, because it's actually a record of the diversity of a country. So if we can extract more information, more molecular information from the samples, we can basically have properly curated data for our biodiversity analysis and conservation effort. Also, this is also another example of my museomics research. And this also, together with Yoshida Sensei, we collected proteins from the octopuses from the shell. And our research was actually being we got some interview by the New York Times regarding our research about this. This together with the museum, Wakayama Museum of Prefectural Museum of Natural History, we identified new deep sea species of holothroid. And this is about the diversity of shell living in the intertidal area of the whole Japan. We found out that their evolution or genetic diversity is actually being influenced by ice age and ancient paleoclimatic changes. And this is the one that when we are trying to apply molecular methods to food diversification and resilience. So basically, we collected samples from Vietnam, and then we found out that the Vietnamese actually are consuming more than 50 species of gastropods, marine gastropods. So this can be actually being considered as an alternative food source. This is also when we detected with IPB, we detected invasive species in Indonesia using molecular methods. And this together with ITS, we also with Yoshida Sensei, we tried to develop environmental friendly concrete by combining fly ash and this IDN1 is the strain of bacteria, calcium carbonate producing bacteria, we isolated from Indonesia. These are the grants that we applied together, mostly from the Japanese government and Japanese companies. So yeah, Yoshida Sensei and I have been like going back a very long time, did a lot of research collaboration together at Shimane University. So I think at present, Shimane University is trying to develop more collaboration with Indonesia. So I hope this can be a very good chance, a very big chance for Indonesians academicians who would like to do collaboration with Shimane University or would like to continue their study in Shimane University. Because many professors from Shimane University will also share their research, and then so that you will be able who to contact when you need to come into the university. So thank you very much. That's my talk for this session. Thank you.
Thank you, Dr. Davin Setiamarga, for giving us the brief opening of this session. So we would like to welcome him again. He will be moderating the first session, the keynote speech, which will be delivered by Professor Masunaga from Shimane University and Professor Amzurifin, the Education Attaché of the Indonesian Embassy in Tokyo, and also with the Dr. Andi, Agricultural Attaché of the Indonesian Embassy in Tokyo. So from now on, we would like to welcome Dr. Davin to moderating this session. We are trying to opening the files. If you can wait for 1-2 minutes, thank you. Thank you for waiting. It was a rush. Okay. Let me share the file first so it will be easier. That's it. Can everyone see the slides? Okay. Okay. I think we're good to go.
Okay. We are really sorry for some technical problems. So now it's all done. It's all resolved. So I would like to first invite our first speaker, Professor Sugiyuki Masunaga from Shimane University. Professor Masunaga is an expert in environmental science and soil science. So, without further ado, I would like to give the lecture to Professor Masunaga. Please.
Thank you very much. Camera will you?
Yeah, that is.
Sure. This is shared.
Well, Professor Masunaga is also the vice president of Shimane University, and he speaks very fluent Indonesian. So you can ask him questions in Indonesian also.
Thank you very much, Pak David. Ibu-ibu dan bapak-bapak, selamat pagi dan selamat datang kepada para tamu dari embassy di Tokyo dan IPB dan institusi lainnya dari Indonesia. Kami sangat senang dan merasa terhormat atas kehadiran Anda di Symposium di I-4 ini di Universitas Shimane. Kami berharap Anda dapat menikmati waktu Anda di sini dan mendapatkan banyak wawasan serta pengalaman berharga. Terima kasih telah datang dan mari kita bersama-sama menciptakan diskusi yang produktif dan inspiratif. From now on, let me start to speak in English. Very sorry. Masih sulit ya. Pointernya. Pointernya ada? Enggak. Pointernya. Pointer. Karada. Tidak ada apa-apa. Okay. Okay, let me start. Today, I'd like to talk about agriculture and the environmental theme. That's I worked on several Indonesian students who came from Java or Sumatra. Then today's topic is the environmental silicon management for stable and rice production in Indonesia. As a general background, the crop production and demand in the world, as population increase, the green line, the crop production, crop demand, that's the pale blue line, increasing. But as we see, that's the trend is not linear. Recently, the crop demand is rapidly increase. That is because of the change of the food cultures. More the people eat more the meat. So that we need the culture, the animals. We need more the crops. That is a recent trend. Along with that's the trend, we also try to increase the crop production, that red line. This is the general trend. Then about rice, the rice production and the trade. The left side, the figure, showing the several main rice producing countries in in East Asia, and also in other regions like the Africa or United States. The y-axis shows the yield. Then x-axis shows the production. So the right side, China and India, those are the two main countries producing the rice. But that production is not correspond with the import or the export. The right side, the figures shows the net rice export or the import in some countries. The birds over the zero means the export. The below the zero means the import of the rice. Then left side, India, Thailand, Vietnam, the pure exporting and the rice exporting countries, especially India, that we showed the sharp increase of the export It means that India supporting our foods about the rice. But instead, like China, after in the 21st centuries, China, they changed it from the exporting countries to the importing countries nowadays. So the people in China require the more rice. The Indonesia, since the 1980s, they already have they import the rice from the other countries. This is the current trend. Japan also the importing the rices from the other countries, and the Philippines also. The Philippines also the one with the main rice producing countries. We believed, but nowadays it's importing a lot. Then Nigeria. The Nigeria means this is just the representative countries of Africa. About 1/3 of the rice they imported from the other countries. So the Africa is the place we are expecting more than the population increasing. So we need to stabilize and increase the rice production in the world. Otherwise, we cannot support the African people. The United States are the pure exporting countries, but nowadays, as we see, it's decreasing. Well, that actually we don't know. I couldn't clarify what is the reason why they reducing the export of the rice from the United States. So still we don't know the unknown background. We have the unknown background. But anyway, as I told you, we have to stabilize the crop production and how to this increase. This is the general background I want to focus on today. Then how to increase or this is still the background. The stability of the rice production, they wonder it is still stable and stable or not. This is the effect of the so-called green revolutions. This is the case of Indonesia. Rice yield, it was only 1.7 ton per hectare in 1960s. But nowadays, it reached to the more than 4. Even they reached to the 5 because of the green revolution. The dramatic increase was achieved, but is it stable or not? This is the question. In the same period, one of my colleagues worked on the soil fertility change in the same period. The soil fertility was improved. The SOM means the soil organic matter. The nitrogen and the available P were increased, but available silicon. So the available silicon, some of you may know its importance, but many of you doesn't know. So today my focusing point. Anyway, the imbalanced nutrient causes the rice growth disorder and the reduction of the stress tolerances. Then the other example, the nitrogen is we know this is a very important nutrients to have the model production, but the excess nitrogen also they have the risk of the pest and the lodging. So not only okay. I want to move to the next. This is the work about the nutrient balance in Java paddy fields. Please focus on the blue part or the red part. The blue part means the surplus. Then red part means a deficit. It means as we produce more rice or the crop the rice, we have the nutrient input, nutrient increase or decrease. Then red part deficit means that as we produce more rice, decrease that nutrients. On these figures, the silicon has the clear deficit year by year. But this is one crop. Only the one crop decrease the silicon or potassium K. Then this slide shows the change of the available silicon in Java paddy fields in the period of the 1970s to the 2003. You may focus on the balance. The balance has all the sites has the negative balance of the silicon. In last 30 years, the 20% of the available silicon decreased. This is the fact of the Indonesian paddy fields. Then on this slide, I want to briefly talk about the function of the silicon on rice growth. The silicon was absorbed from the root part. Then they transported the upper part. Then they accumulate on the surface of the stem, leaf, or the husks. Then they make the silicon layers on the surface tissues. It become they focus on the pale orange part, the effects. With the silicon, the accumulation, rice could have the hard tissue. Then it could be the barrier for the pests and diseases. Then they prohibit the cuticular, so-called the cuticular transpiration. That is the water loss from the rice body. Then with these effects, we could improve the tolerance for the pest, disease, and the water stress. Then and also the rice become strong. So the better plant shape for light reception. Then it further have the positive effect on rice growth and yield. Actually, the rice with the silicon uptake, rice could have the tolerance to the pests and the diseases, and also the water stresses. That's we confirmed. This is the map of the Indonesia about the rice blast disease, the infection or the expansion. The red or the orange part, those are the region they suffer from the blast disease. Then on this map, we can know in which region we have to carefully manage the silicon in the rice. We can use the chemicals, agrochemicals, but that is not enough. So we have to make strong the rice. That's my concept. Then this is the example, the results on the rice effect on the stomata, the formation. Stomata is a very important the organ. They could control the water. Now, not only the water, the management, and also the uptake of the carbon dioxide relating to the biosynthesis. So in the water stress regions, this stomata formation is a critical for the stress tolerance to the water stress. So even in the Indonesia, that is we know the more water, the more rainfall you have comparing to the other regions. But in some regions, like not Jakenan, but the South Sumatra, they suffer from the water deficit, the stresses and the water deficit or the water shortage. So in those regions, the stomata formation, control the stomata formation is very, very important. The silicon helps to form the mother stomata. Then about the silicon dynamics, in the Indonesian, not only Indonesia, but also rice producing fields, where from silicon. Then how the silicon lost. The blue lines, blue arrows show the silicon input into the sour paddy fields. One is the one main source is irrigation. Then other the source is the silicon transport from the upland. As the soil eroded, silicon also they imported into the rice and into the rice fields. Then besides if we could, we can give the silicon fertilizer, but that is not very common. Only the Japan, China, and the South Korea give the use the silicon fertilizer, not Indonesia. That's why the more the rice produced, more the silicon is lost. That is the case in Indonesia or the other countries. The other one, the other natural the silicon supply is the soil weathering, but very slow. So the rice with the rice, the harvest with the rice, silicon is lost. Then the engineer at the below part, supply is lesser than the consumption. Then I want to show about the natural silicon supply from the irrigation waters. I worked on with one of my Indonesian students, some of my Indonesian students. The silicon dynamics in the Citarum, in Java, there are 3 big dams constructed in the watershed. What happens in the watersheds? This is the results. The silicon concentration in the water bodies decreasing after passing the dams. What happens? The bottom part, we see the abort. What is that? Is that fish cultures in the dam. During the fish cultures, they give the feed. In the feeds, it includes the nitrogen and the phosphorus and other nutrients. They cause the blooming of the diatoms, the planktons. They uptake more the silicons. It reduces the dissolved silicon from the water bodies. Then it resulted in the loss of the silicon and the loss of the silicon from the irrigation waters. So it is happening. Then this is the correlation between the dissolved silicon in the water and also the diatom densities. This is we have we had the statistical negative correlation. So more the diatoms decrease, the lower the silicon concentrations. This is happening not only in Indonesia but also in other countries. In Japan also it happens. Then how to control? How to manage the silicons? We have to think about the feasible ways. Then I'm thinking about I'm focusing on today in the light the green circles, natural silicon supply from the upland, then the silicon fertilizer. How to increase the silicon supply in paddy fields in feasible way. The one option is how to manage the silicon the input from the upland. This table shows the silicon content in different plants. Then some plant families they are listed on. In the forest, there are several types of trees they planted or they live on naturally. They have the silicon concentration on the list. I want to ask you to focus on the red part, cacao. The cacao is one of the main crop in Indonesia nowadays. The cacao, the trees, cacao leaves, it has the relatively rich the silicon concentration. So if you could give the soil or the litters from the cacao plantations to the Lowland sour, you could give the available silicon. So this is the very simple, of course, the labor hole, but that is one the options how to get the silicon materials. Then the next, this is a list of the silicon material and some local materials containing the silicon. We believe some materials can be used as a silicon fertilizer. Japan also we use the first one, silicon slag and the steel slag. Indonesia in Java also you have some factories, factories they producing the steel. From that's the factories we can get the steel slag as the industrial waste. If we could use, that is a very good silicon fertilizer. Japan we use, but Indonesia not yet. I have talked with some scientists in Indonesia about the possibility to use this steel slag. But the Indonesian rules, this is industry waste, so it is not allowed to use steel yet. So we have to discuss on. Now we have to talk. Think about to change that rule so that you can easily get that's the silicon materials. This is a summary. I already talked, so I don't talk about that summary. Anyway, thank you very much.
Thank you very much, Professor Masunaga. So Professor Masunaga has been working on Indonesia together with Indonesian students and researchers for quite a long time. So the discussion session will be held after all three keynote speakers are done with their talk. So I would like to invite our next speaker, His Excellency Professor Amsul Rivin, the Attaché of Education of the Embassy of the Republic of Indonesia in Tokyo. Professor Amsul Rivin is also a professor of agricultural economics and agrobusiness at IPB University. So without further ado, I would like to give the lectern to Professor Rivin. The lectern is yours.
Yeah.
Okay. Hello, hello.
Okay.
Okay. Okay. Thank you very much, Mr. Davin. So thank you very much for the introduction. So I always consider Davin as a colleague. So we have long past relation with him since he was a student in IPB. So I met him again in Tokyo back in 2007. I was so surprised that, but yeah, we kept on bumping in each other. And when he asked me to come to Shimane, I cannot say no. So first of all, maybe this is different from the previous speech from Masunaga Sensei. So I asked Davin again, what should I present? So basically, as he mentioned, I'm an agricultural economist, and my topic I am researching about palm oil, especially in the trade policy. So, but maybe now, so I have two institutions. And currently, I'm an education and cultural attaché in National University Tokyo. So I am now on this position and presenting this paper. But I'm also a lecturer in the Department of Agribusiness, Faculty of Economics and Management, IPB University. So I should put two of my institution. If I delete the other one, I might get, because after serving in Tokyo, I should come back to IPB. Yeah. So if I don't put my institution, Pak Begin will tell the rector that I am not again in IPB. So allow me to have these two institutions put in my paper. So as education attaché, I'm not only representing IPB, but I'm also representing all the universities in Indonesia. Allow me maybe to just sum up what is now the government of Indonesia's focus on, and several funding opportunities. Maybe hopefully with this event we can have collaboration, and one part of the collaboration is funding funding opportunities and also the themes. So basically, the new government focus is on two main issues. First is on agriculture. So I think it is very, very relevant to our discussion. So the government is trying to increase or to have the food self-sufficiency, especially on rice. So I think this research team on, like Masunaga Sensei's topic, is a very, very important issues for us. And the second one is energy self-sufficiency. So I think also energy have relation with agriculture. So because we are abundant of a lot of resources in Indonesia, and because we are also like Masunaga also already mentioned, we are an importer of rice, one of the biggest, and also we are an importer of oil, and one of the biggest. So basically, the government focus is we want to decrease those imports by increasing domestic production. So in order to support those policies, the government has already channeled funding for research. Although maybe the research impact is in the long run, but at least this policy or this objective can be achieved. Now, first of all, maybe I would like one of the this is one of the three funding institution that is currently give fund, although not limited to these three institutions. We have the LPDP, the Endowment Fund for Education, or we have the BRIN. I think some of students also came from BRIN, and also the Ministry of Education. So let us maybe give a scheme on these three funding institution. First of all, maybe LPDP. For LPDP, basically, we know LPDP as a funding for scholarship. So maybe before going on to research funding, so the LPDP main task is basically to give scholarship to Asian students to go abroad, all over the world. So they have the list of universities. So basically, the lists are based on the world ranking. So for Japan, so this is what they have. This is not for the research, but basically for institution, for the universities that the LPDP is giving scholarship to study in Japan. So here we have around 10 universities that the LPDP gave scholarship. We have the Tokyo, Kyoto, Osaka, Tohoku, ISD, Hokkaido, Kyushu, Nagoya, and Tsukuba, and also OIST. So currently, what the LPDP is going to do in the future, they want to increase more students to non-English speaking countries. Why? is purely economics because it's cheaper to send students to non-English speaking countries, especially Japan. So I think in the future, the international government, especially LBDP, is going to push more international students to study in Japanese institutions. That's the first. But on the other hand, the preference of Indonesian students to study in Japan is not as high as to study in English-speaking countries such as Australia, or maybe US, or maybe UK, or European countries. So in the future, we hope first to increase this number of universities. I think with collaboration, we can try to promote maybe Shimane to have this, to be in the list of LPTB scholarship. Maybe the way, let's talk in the future. So that's our what we are going to do in the future. So we want, the LPTB wants to get more students to study in Japan in all subjects. Yeah, in hard science, social science, and I think we know the quality of Japanese institutions are very, very good. So let me start with this slide. Then, so I'll go back. So what is LPDP? So LPDP is just a public service agency of limited finance that are maintaining the education endowment fund. So basically what they did is, because we have regulation that 20% of the budget, national budget, is going to the education. So they have this endowment fund. So basically the interest of this endowment fund is given to scholarship. So just the interest, yeah. So you know how big is the endowment fund is. So so this is the mission of LPDP. So I bold. So basically 1, 2 is focusing on the scholarship, but the third one, so they have also a mission in research, innovative, value-added, and practical research through research funding. So they gave research funding also. So sometimes you just know that LPDP is only for scholarship, but actually they have also research funding. So so this is basically what they in their scheme, what they call the RISPRO, Research Innovative Productive. So with research funding program that aims to improve the nation's competitiveness through product technology, commercialization, or implementation of policies, governments, or publications. So the output is not only publications, but also policies and also commercialization. So we have several schemes here. So we call it the International Collaboration RISPRO. So maybe here we can have this collaboration with other parties to form a joint cause, matching funds, or co-funding. Yeah. So let me. So this is. You can go to the website, the LPDP KMNQ, something like I can give this file later. So RISPRO International is research funding with a team established by LPD for basic research schemes through collaboration with external parties in the form of joint calls, matching funds, or co-funding. So basically, these collaborations can increase the competencies of Indonesian researchers, also with international researchers. Then the output is not only as I mentioned before, not only publications, but also IP, technology, or maybe social engineering model. So it's not only in the hard science, but also in soft, social science also, can apply these collaborations. So I'm not, okay, this is partners can be universities, institutions, or other, so this partner can be appointed by LPDP. One of the, I was, before coming to Japan, I was involved in one of these international collaborations, we call the Connexi with Australia. So they have joint calls and especially for Indonesians researchers and also Australia and other researchers. So the themes. So this is the themes focused by the LPDP. We have the food resilience. I think this is a very very related with what Masunaga Sensei is already about the breeding technology, cultivation, post-harvest technology, also the more modest policies related to food resilience and independence. So basically, food resilience from technology and also for in the social science related theme. Then also renewable energy, fuel substitution, electricity generation, energy conservation, also resilience, So also modest policy. So the pattern is quite similar, so you have the technology, then you have also the model. So as I mentioned before, now the government is focusing on those two efforts, agriculture, food self-sufficiency, and also the EBT and energy baru dan terbarukan or renewable energy themes. Then also health, because also related to what happened in COVID, how to develop biopharmaceutical, supplement technology, and raw materials technology, medicine, also then policies are more related to health and medicines. And also transportation, management of transportation. So the pattern is quite similar to those three previous themes. And also ICT, this is also the focus of this. Then also defense, security technology development. Then also advanced material, and this is maybe then the next, this what maybe Davin wants is maritime, frontier, outermost, and underdeveloped areas. So we called it 3T, so development technology for sovereignty in frontier, outermost, and underdeveloped areas. Of technology for the actually marine resources and maritime environmental conservation. So this theme is, I think, is quite related to what Shimane University is doing currently. Then we have also the BRIN funding scheme. I met with one of the BRIN from BRIN, so they have also just issued the scheme. What they call the RIM, Research and Innovation for onward Indonesia competition. So we have from several scheme, So we have the RIM Expedition, Collaboration Center, Startup Scheme. So I'm not going through this, but maybe you can check the BRIN's website. Invitation, actual product innovation testing. So I think this is a very good source of funding, especially if you have BRIN colleagues in Shimane. So they will have more access to this funding, and with collaboration, I think it will increase the competencies of BRIN researchers in Indonesia or other researchers. This is for collaboration. Then lastly, with education is a scheme. So basically, this is for ministries of education. So they have three kinds of scheme. We have the basic research, penelitian dasar, then applied research, and also foreign collaboration. So this so usually I was, before coming to Japan, I was one of the reviewer of this Ministry of Education scheme, and one of the important point if international collaboration. So if you have international collaboration, you will have more points. You will have more chance to receive the scheme. So I think with collaboration, you can have more chance to get the funding. My closing remarks is so now when I studied my PhD in Japan, at that time Indonesia is just receiving funds. I got my scholarship from the Max, but now Indonesia is considered to have already can receive or can send their own students abroad. So also we have also several funding for research. So I think especially scholars in Japan can not only Indonesian but also Japanese nationalities can use those funds. Yeah. So and also Indonesian collaborations, Indonesian counterparts are very much willing to collaborate. So I have many universities contact me so that they want to have relations with collaboration with Japanese universities, but I told them that to have collaborations, you should know each other first. Yeah, so you should have first personal relation. Yeah, you cannot just come to Japanese universities, then okay. So the process is not instant. So that sometimes that's we have to do. And I think this kind of symposium is a very good way to know each other. Yeah. So to know each other and start maybe in the future to start collaboration. Maybe first very small things, for example, writing paper together or visiting. Then maybe it can increase in the future. Then applying for this scheme, it is better to have collaborations with Indonesians. Okay. And then networking can be conducted through specific organization, domestic or internationally. So I think to sum up, I think this collaboration is very important. Yeah. And we have many universities in Indonesia. Yeah, not only in Java. Yeah, so IPB, UI, UGM, ITB, ITS is considered to be Indonesia's leading universities, but we have other universities in Java. Maybe Masud Sensei or no, Andalas. We have already in Kalimantan, we have Mula Warman, and we have many in Ambon, we have Patimura. So they have very many specific locations. So hopefully in the future we can collaborate with all universities in Indonesia. Thank you very much. Arigatou gozaimasu.
Thank you very much, His Excellency Professor Amsul Ridin. for his talk about the funding scheme for studying abroad and research collaboration. The next speaker, we'd like to invite Professor Shingo Matsumoto from the Faculty of Life and Environmental Sciences at Shimane University. Professor Matsumoto is also an expert in soil science and horticulture and agriculture. So he also has done probably some research also in Indonesia and other part of the world outside of Japan. Okay, so without further ado, I would like to give the lecture to Professor Matsumoto.
Thank you very much for giving me the opportunity to present my research today. I appreciate Dr. Raffin Sensei and Yoshida Sensei and all participants today. So the topic I'll be presenting today is mainly about rice. Rice is an important staple food for about half of the world population, both Indonesia and Japan also consume rice as a staple food. So ensuring the productivity and safety of rice production is considered to be an extremely important issue. So today, I would like to introduce the impact of recent global warming on the safety of rice and the countermeasures to reduce those risks. Okay. You know, arsenic is a metalloid widely found as various organic and inorganic forms in water, soil, and air. Here you can see how arsenic mobility leads to grain. Arsenic content is transferred to secondary phases, including iron oxides, hydroxide, collectively referred to as iron oxide, which is called iron plaque, and arsenic released by microbial processes. You know that rice cultivated under flooded condition, therefore arsenic easily more accumulated by rice roots and absorbed in rice grain. Organic and inorganic arsenic are also present in most foodstuffs, fish and shellfish, contributed to the greatest total daily intake, followed by seaweed and rice. Arsenic compound present in fish and shellfish is mostly arsenobetane, which is protein, and in seaweed is mostly arsenic sugar. Those both are organic arsenic and considered virtually non-toxic. Meanwhile, inorganic arsenic, for example, arsenite and arsenate is more toxic than organic arsenic. So two food items, rice and hijiki, seaweed, were estimated as major contributors to daily inorganic arsenic intake in the Japanese population. Because rice is a globally important food crop, so the Codex Alimentaris Commission set the maximum levels for inorganic arsenic in white rice and brown rice. Establishing these international standards means that even in unpolluted soil, cultivation management techniques are needed to reduce the concentration of arsenic in rice. This table shows arsenic concentration in agricultural products in Japan. average concentration in brown rice was 0.16 ppm. On the other hand, arsenic concentration in most of the other crops were below limit of quantification. In the 1970s, the mechanism of arsenic damage to paddy rice and countermeasures for paddy rice field were studied in Japan. As shown in the figure, in the bottom right, the rice yield decreased depending on the soil arsenic concentration. However, under non-flooded condition, the rice yield does not decrease. Flooded condition in paddy field soil lead to arsenic mobilization, which in turn lead to enhance the bioavailability. For this reason, the concentration of arsenic in rice is a problem for rice grown in flooded conditions. On the other hand, field condition, the solubility of arsenic decreases significantly in field conditions. So arsenic is not a problem for many field crops. This slide shows a survey of arsenic in paddy field in Japan, conducted by National Agriculture and Food Research Organization. The data on soil physical chemical properties and inorganic concentration of brown rice and polished rice were analyzed in each paddy field. The median, mean, and maximum inorganic arsenic contributes are shown in this table. Frequency distribution is shown in this figure. In 1972 and 1973, a survey of paddy field was conducted to investigate the relationship between soil arsenic concentration and rice yield. Many kinds of soil extraction methods were tested. Dr. Yamane, who belonged to Shimane Agricultural Experiment Station, found a significant negative correlation between the yield of brown rice and the level of 1 molar HCl soluble arsenic in the soil. The maximum permission level of the arsenic in paddy field was set to 15 ppm of 1 molar HCl soluble arsenic in soil. And it did not lead to reduction the rice yield. This standard was used to estimate the level of arsenic contamination in soil. As mentioned above, we now need predictive equation that shows the relationship between the arsenic concentration in brown rice and the arsenic concentration in unpolluted soil. So no clear correlation was found between inorganic arsenic concentration and in 1 molar HCl arsenic extracted from the soil. So it is thought that inorganic arsenic concentration in rice is affected by various factors such as the redox potential in soil and the contents of minerals and the cultivation conditions. A multiple regression analysis was performed by the least square method, assuming a linear model with inorganic arsenic concentration in rice as the objective variable. So data and daily mean temperature as explanatory variables. Regression equation 1 shows that iron concentration and aluminum concentration in soil have a negative influence on the inorganic arsenic concentration in rice. In other words, the amount of iron and aluminum in soil decrease the arsenic concentration in brown rice. And then TA 14 to 27, this indicates the average daily mean air temperature from 14 to 27 days after heading day. Arsenic concentration in soil and average temperature on the day after heading showed a positive relationship with inorganic arsenic concentration in lice. The results show that if the temperature lies 1 degree C, the concentration of inorganic arsenic in brown rice will increase by about 10%. In other words, it can be thought that an increase in temperature is a risk that will increase the concentration of arsenic. In the case of polished rice, the positive relationship with the daily average temperature of the ripening period after heading is consistent with our results shown in table previous slides. The partial regulation coefficient shows the temperature after the heading is higher value than concentration of soluble arsenic in the soil. And the effect of temperature on the concentration of arsenic in rice is essential. However, a sufficient basis for the mechanism to explain this relationship of temperature after heading and inorganic arsenic concentration in rice grain has not been obtained. Now you can see in the figures, temperature gradually increase, and then since 1980, temperature increasing highly. Therefore, damage of yield components increased by day by day. Recently, it was reported that increasing high temperature during the ripening period could increase the risk of inorganic arsenic accumulation levels in rice grain. Here you can see when the temperature is increasing, arsenic concentration in rice and increasing. However, the effect of high temperature in ripening periods on arsenic accumulation in grain is not researched experimentally. Therefore, this research is important to detect the relationship between high temperature and arsenic accumulation in rice grain. So this objective, to clarify high temperature increased arsenic level on the arsenic accumulation in brown rice. And the second, materials application, for example, iron material and silicate material may reduce arsenic concentration in brown rice grain, even in high temperature conditions. Next. To make the temperature variation, we applied for temperature regimes in order from entrance to the temperature gradient to make we use temperature gradient chamber to deep inside TGC, and the ambient from entrance may mildly high, moderately high, and super high. This TGC has fan, so air flow from entrance to deep inside. So the temperature gradually increase. So we conducted the pot experiment and using TGC and for countermeasure to reduce risk of arsenic, we applied silicate material. The results, the change in the average daily mean air temperature and daily maximum temperature. The blue line indicates ambient, and pink line marks indicates super high. So the daily mean air temperature was observed meaningful temperature difference in the all high temperature treatments compared to ambient. So the analysis of covariates and uncoupled with air or soil temperature as a covariates, the significance of regulation was observed. Therefore, brown rice yield decreased significantly as the air soil temperature increased during the ripening period. In contrast, the SI application significantly increased the brown rice yield in all of the temperatures. The results indicate that the application of silicate must be effective in brown rice yield even in high temperature conditions during the ripening period. Here, this table shows the concentration of arsenic in brown rice. Shown the results of the UNCOVR reveals significant linear relationship between the concentration in organic arsenic, DMA, and the sum of species and total arsenic with the average air and soil temperature during ripening period. And then SI application, silicate material significantly reduce the concentration of arsenic. Overall, this result confirmed that the increase in air and soil temperature during the ripening period significantly increased as concentration in brown rice, but the silicate application was effective in reducing the arsenic concentration in brown rice compared to the control as all the temperature treatment. Here, the x-axis air and soil temperature, y-axis inorganic arsenic and total arsenic. Blue lines mean control treatment, and the orange color line means silicate application treatment. The concentration of inorganic arsenic increased significantly with the increasing air temperature and soil temperature during the ripening period in both control and AS application. Similarly, the content of total AS also increased significantly with increasing temperatures. In contrast, the concentration of arsenic in the brown rice tended to be lower in the SI application than in the control in any treatment temperature range. So summaries of topic 1. First, significant relationship between air and soil temperature with brown rice. Silicate material application reduced arsenic concentration in brown rice grain even in high temperature conditions. Third, the decrease in the concentration of arsenic in rice due to the application of silicate material is thought to be because arsenic and silicon are chemically similar, and the application of silicate materials competitively inhibits the absorption of arsenic. Top 2, so I time consuming. So okay, the next one is a similar experiment by iron material. So it's so when you use similar TGC treatment, So I think I conducted the iron material to reduce the risk of the arsenic concentration in brown rice. The similar results obtained. Okay, so iron material application is also effective to reduce the arsenic concentration in brown rice. The mechanism is that the root of the rice, the control and the FA application and the double application, the color change to red, increasing FA application. It's in the soil surface, the iron oxide formation. In this iron, the arsenic fixed. So rice plants couldn't absorb the arsenic, and then that's the arsenic concentration reduce. So conclusion. After my conclusion, after heading 1 to 4 weeks, critical time to increase arsenic concentration in soil solution, and increase in the temperature during ripening period leads to decrease in rice yield. But silicate material effective to reduce concentration in rice grain under high temperature condition. Converted furnace slag, it's iron material may suppress to reduce the arsenic concentration and absorption in all parts of rice plant, even in high temperature condition. Well then, that conduct my presentation. Thank you very much for your kind attention.
Thank you very much, Professor Matsumoto, for a very, very nice and informative presentation. So I'm sure a lot of the participants will have a lot of questions and things to discuss. So the discussion session will be conducted after all keynote speakers are done with their presentations. Thank you very much. So for the next speaker for our first session is His Excellency Dr. Muhammad Muharram Hidayat. So he is the Attaché of Agriculture of the Embassy of the Republic of Indonesia in Tokyo. So Dr. Hidayat is actually also a graduate of IPB University, and he is a vet. So he's going to give a presentation, but because of he is also at present in the middle of administrative duties from the embassy, he will join us. He will give his material through Zoom. So he will do his presentation online. Of course, real time, live presentation. So without further ado, to Dr. Hidayat, we are giving you the place and time to present.
Thank you. Good morning to all participants. Thank you for the introduction, Dr. Daphne. First of all, let me introduce myself. I have an official name, Muhammad Muharram Hidayat, but everybody call me Andy. It's a nickname for me, but everybody know me as Andy here in the embassy. Like Mr. Daphne said, I'm a veterinarian. My background is veterinarian in IPB, from IPB. And I also studied master again for animal disease epidemiology. So very animal health based background. But now I'm the assigned as the agriculture attaché in Indonesian embassy. I have to also manage the problem in plant health and other, also including the fisheries. Like Mr. Amzul, Professor Amzul, also I'm working originally in the Ministry of Agriculture in Indonesia, around 20 years now, working in the ministry and in the Indonesian embassy. This is my second year as agriculture attaché. So I'm sorry, apologize because I cannot attend offline in Shimane University because I have a delegation from agriculture Indonesian quarantine agency. They go back last night, midnight, so I have to make sure they go home safely. But hopefully I can deliver this presentation about my scope of work here in the agriculture attaché in Japan, and what is our cooperation now initiative between Indonesia and Japan, and hopefully in the end there's some hope of this forum from the agriculture sector. Let me start with this as introduction. I believe from all the speaker previously mentioned that agriculture, rice and other stuff is a major component in food provision. And now there's a trend of shifting trends of cooperation between countries to reduce the dependency to other countries. And this is more obvious after the post-COVID, the sovereignty of over food provision is main target of all countries, including Indonesia. And this is also a challenge because Indonesia have to provide domestically for a lot of citizens in Indonesia, but we have to also other target, which is export for country foreign exchange. We are in agriculture attaché is signed as a science diplomat. I think they call it like that, to support the government vision and mission from agriculture sector, both for domestic food provision and also for export facilitation of agriculture commodity. And this is the main programs of the new government's new president and the new Ministry of Agriculture. We are now in the lowest, I think, agricultural GDP growth in almost 0.2% in 2003. And we have this target to achieve 4.8% of GDP growth in agriculture in end of this government in 2029. So a lot of programs is established in this new periods of governance, including the extensification program. You might heard the food estate program. Now the government tried to open new rice fields in several area in Indonesia. I think this is very interesting if we could collaborate the research that has been done in like a previous speaker like Professor Matsumoto and Professor Masunaga already deliver about how to improve rice production, and I think this would be beneficial if somehow we can connect the program with this program from the government. Also, there's lot of program in intensification production, also land conversion, control, a change in policy and infrastructure development, and one chain command of food provision in Indonesia. So hopefully we will achieve the target of 4.8 in the end of this period. And this is our GDP growth, both national and also in the agricultural contribution. So we see this is we have this low GDP growth. A lot of factors contribute to this situation. Like there's a shift from agriculture-based in Indonesia to industrial based, and this is also if affecting the land conversion, which is difficult to control, and there's a lot of what you say, the autonomy also make it a lot of change, a challenge to control the land conversion and other stuff that start to affecting this GDP growth of agriculture. But again, this is the program of the new government to increase the target of GDP growth in Indonesia. And this is just the figure of the export income of fresh and processed product or agricultural product. So it basically it is mostly palm oil, which is contribute to our income of agriculture export in Indonesia. And we from the Ministry of Agriculture, we have 4 location of this agriculture attaché. So they have each own area. From the Washington DC is in charge of US, and the until to Brazil, Argentina, and Brussels they in charge to Russia, the Rome in charge from Europe until South Africa, and me in Japan in charge of Asia until Pacific to New Zealand. So this is our task in agriculture, as I say, to support the vision and the mission of the new government. The first one is the self-sufficiency for national food reserve. So what is our role in this component? We are promoting investment in agriculture sector in Indonesia. And other activity is to exchange knowledge and technology in agriculture. So I believe from this forum we can exchange knowledge and in agriculture and technology in agriculture to support Indonesian production in the future. So this is I think this is a good forum for exchanging this knowledge and technology. And this is just some example of our scope of work. We have this food safety exchange program between Indonesia and Japan. We know that Japan has very high standard for food safety. And in terms of trading, we have to be equal to support the trade between Indonesia and Japan. So Japan have this initiative to support Indonesia to have this food safety exchange program. And in the investment component, we encourage Japan industry to invest in Indonesia. So this is just one of our example to invest. There's a lot of abandoned land in Indonesia. So and from Japan want to invest to produce moringa. for cosmetics and other stuff in Japan production. So we encourage something like this industry to invest in Indonesia for planting moringa in Indonesia and make a factory of moringa production powder in Indonesia. So the second one is our role is to have this capacity building for human resources in agriculture sector. So we basically here we facilitate training and education for our human resources for our farmer in Indonesia, and also develop this education in Indonesia and provide job opportunity abroad, including in Japan. So this is just the example of our activities. Like the left one, you see that we have this annual program of young farmer leader. We train farmer from Indonesia around all provinces from Indonesia. And we cooperate with several organizations here in Japan, and we have them training in farmer here in Japan. So this program takes 8 months or minimum one period of harvesting in Japan. So they can go back to Indonesia and apply what the training in Japan in their farm in Indonesia. And the right side, this is the program from our agricultural education. So the graduates of the alumni from our agricultural school is we look for job opportunity here in Japan. We understand Japan has challenges to provide human resources, including in agriculture sector. So we cooperate with Japan to provide Indonesian student or alumni which is ready to work in Japan. But hopefully they will also come back to Indonesia and increase the Indonesian production in the future. And the last one, I think I put it in bold because this is the most challenging role of agricultural attaché, is increasing export for agricultural commodity from Indonesia. This include to promote Indonesian agricultural commodity in several expo event in Japan and other countries, and also technical facilitation for trade of agricultural commodity. Why this is very challenging? Because this is a challenge for Indonesian export to Japan, and the biggest challenge is the sanitary and phytosanitary. After that, the quality assurance and other challenges, but biggest one is the sanitary or phytosanitary. The most common trade barrier for agricultural commodity to Japan is the presence of our suspected disease agent that are dangerous to animal, environment, and human health in Japan. And unsafe product composition, unmaintained product hygiene, and other stuff. And the situation is Japan is free of major animal disease and also plant pest and all diseases. So this is major challenges for Indonesia, because Indonesia still struggling to free our country of major animal diseases and plant pests and diseases. So I take one example of the animal diseases. We have this foot and mouth disease since 2022. This largely affect the export of our cattle products, like dairy cattle and also meat. So our milk and meat or fresh or processed is difficult to enter Japan and other country which is free from this foot and mouth disease. But this disease of animal not only affecting the animal product, because this also affecting indirectly to our export of kenaf, hibiscus cannabis. So this is we usually export this commodity to Japan, and in Japan they made this from this material car component, car interior. So, and because of the foot and mouth disease and other disease which is in Indonesia also present and in Japan is still free, is the African swine fever. So because the high standard of this safety in Japan, we Indonesia have to export this kenaf outside the 50-kilometer radius of disease outbreak. So this is a challenge from animal diseases, but not affecting only to animal diseases, but to animal commodity, but also for other commodity. This foot and mouth disease also affecting the tourism, because a lot of tourism from New Zealand and Australia get this travel warning to go to Indonesia, and they afraid to bring back the foot and mouth disease to New Zealand and Australia, because they are the biggest commodity of New Zealand and Australian cattle, and they will highly affected if this disease enter the country. Other diseases that is also affecting Indonesia and Japan trade is avian influenza. This is affecting chicken. So before 2004, we export a big amount of fresh product of poultry to Japan. So, but after the 2004, there's avian influenza come to Indonesia and spread in Indonesia. Japan stopped this export of fresh product of poultry from Indonesia to Japan. But now we start to export again the processed product. So Japan allowed the processed product, which is heat processed product, to enter Japan. So now currently 5 business units has been approved, and hopefully in the near future 5 more coming to approve for this export of poultry products. For poultry, now in Japan, mostly come from Brazil and Thailand, the biggest production of poultry. Other challenges in Indonesia is struggling to control, like salmonella, and also the mad cow disease, the bovine spongiform, and lumpy skin disease also affecting our product from Indonesia. How about the plant disease? This is also a challenge. I share this is our experience to export, our initiative to export our fruit from Indonesia. We start this initiative since 2009, and up to now, it's still not allowed to export tropical fruit from Indonesia. So the problem is the fruit flies, which is still occurred in Indonesia, but is free in Japan. Why fruit fly? Because Japan have this eradication program of fruit flies since 1968, and it took Japan almost 20 years to end the program. They officially eradicate the fruit flies from Japan. So Japan afraid of bringing new product from country which is not free from fruit flies can make this effort of eradication, and they took a lot of budget for this eradication program. And for mango, import to Japan now is largely occupied by Mexico and again Thailand. So Thailand is now is the leading, I think, a leading country for exporting their agricultural products to other countries. Like in the previous speaker mentioned, that Thailand also is the biggest rice exporter to other countries. So this is our progress from 2009 until now 2024. Large part of this time to convince Japan side that Indonesian fruit are safe for export to Japan since 2012 until 2023. We have this data collection and negotiation. I think this is also our hope for the forum, that the forum can in the future can collaborate with the government and produce solid data which is also in line with the government project or objective. Now, last update for export Indonesian mango to Japan. From the literature that we provide, the Japan may allow the export from Indonesia, but only from West Java, because there is only in West Java we have this all complete surveillance and monitoring of a fruit fly in West Java, and also we have this testing of only Gedong variety mango. So only from West Java and only Gedong variety, which may allow to enter Japan in the near future. But this is also we are developing this protocol of health protocol between Indonesia and Japan, and next homework is we in Indonesia have to make sure that the implementation of this protocol in Indonesia is in line with this, which is what is written in this protocol. And other challenges is the quality assurance. There's 7 major laws in Japan governing food and agricultural product, including imports. So and our this is just to show you that our products has some products has some difficulty to enter Japan because the different standard between Indonesia and Japan. So I take example of aflatoxin. This is from peanuts and nutmeg from Indonesia. They have a big demand here in Japan, but because of different standard, we sometimes have difficulty to enter Japan. In Indonesia, standard from the Food and Drugs Agency for aflatoxin residue in peanut is like 50 ppm maximum, but in Japan only 10 ppm maximum. So a product which is highly marketed in Indonesia may not enter Japan because this standard differences. So this is also a challenge for us to narrowing this gap of standard. Other from traceability from the quality component is traceability. This is also challenge in Indonesia because in Indonesia we consist of smallholder farmer and difficult to implement this kind of traceability. But in Japan, Japan have very good advanced traceability system. If you go to Google and scan this QR code, you will see that every melon produced in is you can trace from which farm and when it was harvested and how sweet the taste is and other information of this melon come from. So this is this technology also will be very beneficial if we could implement, or at least we have some pilot in Indonesia which to and adapt it with Indonesian situation to have this kind of traceability. Not only melon, for in Japan, also for other commodity, this traceability system is very good. And this is for the animal also because in traceability law, cattle identification also is mandatory here in Japan. So what I like, what I learned from Japan to treat the customer. In other words, we treat customer as a king, but that's not what happened in Japan. Japan treat customer as a god. So very high standard quality produced for customer. Other challenges which is potentially affecting our agricultural sector, and this is what we have to anticipate, is like the issue of antimicrobial resistance, also the animal welfare issue, and also the halal commodities. If we fail to anticipate this issue, it will be a potential obstacle for our agricultural commodity. I think this is the last slide, and this is what we hope from agriculture sector from this forum. I think this forum contain a lot of scholar and scientists, and sometimes it's difficult to link the science to the policy making. So I think what we need, that is what we need in Indonesia to link the science and the policy making. So the strategic thinking of policy making is supported by science-based evidence. So hopefully in the future, after this, with this forum, we can establish connection and network between scientists and policymaker in Indonesia, and I would be happy to contribute to make a connection between the science and the Indonesian policy making in agriculture sector. And also in the future, we might have this information sharing, and we can apply science-based knowledge to policy making, and also a continuous feedback from the science science sides to us in the government side. I think that's all my presentation. Hopefully the time is sufficient. I give the floor back to Dr. Daphne. Thank you.
Wonderful, informative presentation. as Professor Riffin also mentioned, actually, Professor Riffin was together with me not only at IBB University but also at the University of Tokyo, while Dr. Hidayat was actually my yearmate, my classmate at IBB University. So this is IBB mafia kind of thing, but right. So we had a very, very wonderful presentation from Professor Matsunaga, Professor Riffin, Professor Matsumoto, and Dr. Hidayat. So okay. Right. So I would like to open a discussion session for it's only about 8 minutes, but I think it's pretty long. So please do ask if you have any question or any comment or anything you'd like to say briefly. Both the online participants and offline participants. I'm giving you the floor.
We already have one questions. Maybe without further ado, we
Right.
will let.
Okay.
Speakers.
So there's one question from Ms. Dimya Shamsana Reska. So we're opening the floor for you. Do mention your affiliation and to whom your question is being targeted. Go ahead.
Okay, thank you so much for the time, sir. Am I audible?
Yes, go ahead.
My name is Dimya Shamsana Rizka from the Faculty of Agriculture, Universitas Jenderal Sudirman, Central Java, Indonesia. I had the opportunity to study Japanese agriculture last year in JA Nakashibesu, Hokkaido, Japan, on internship from my university for 5 months. I'm very interested in the research that Matsunaga Sensei has done in silica. I know Matsunaga Sensei from my father, who is Shimane University alumni too, 2017. And he researched about silica too, so I was interested continuing my studies at Shimane University. And I have a question, Sensei. I want to ask why between rice husk and rice husk charcoal can produce different amounts of silica source, and what further research can be done regarding silica in Indonesia so that it can produce high rice production. Thank you.
これで前見えます。
I couldn't get your name, but thank you very much. They attended this time and also the presentation last time. Anyway, your question is the difference between the rice husk and biochar opinion. With the biochar, the formation with the heat, some of the organ tissues it breaks, so that it has a more the porous porous structures, so that the silicon in the husk can be released easily than the raw rice husk. That's one of the main mechanisms. You could catch my answer. Why the biochar formation and biochar could release the silicon?
Can you hear Professor Masunaga's answer? Your mic is off. Your mic, okay. Mic off.
Yes, I
Okay.
can catch them.
Go
Thank you.
ahead. So, did you get the explanation?
Yes,
Okay,
thank
Thank
you
you.
so much.
thank you very much. Go. Okay, so next question or next comment. Do probably also would like to ask Dr. Hidayat about the training program and also about the chances of doing business in Japan, or ask Dr. Amzul Riffin about scholarships and research funding, or Professor Matsumoto about arsenic content in rice cultivation. Any question, comment? I'm not gonna hide place. Very good.
Can I ask a small question to Professor Matsumoto? So, based on your talk, I think iron and silica has both positive effects to against high temperature rice respiration. Do you think we apply both in the same field? Is it positive effect or something? I say imbalance occurs?
Now, the silicate material and iron material, both materials made from same iron slug. So it's effective to both, but both materials similar effect. So it's very effective.
Okay. The iron slug can
Iron slug,
can more used for this.
But this is silicate materials, specifically produced for silicate. But iron material, rub, rose, what can I say? Rose rub. So the silicate material, the iron concentration in silicate slug, silicate is low, but the iron material has both silicate and iron.
Thank you very much. So actually, is it okay if I have a question too?
Should I have my own question?
Yeah, everybody has, so I mean, right, okay, so I mean, I would like to give the floor first, the chance to the floor if you have any questions, because I can, of course, always call Dr. Hidayat to ask my questions, but personally, very interesting presentation, also to Professor Ripin. So I would like to give the chance to the floor first, if you have any question. Duncan. Right, okay, so go ahead, Professor Rizkina, you can ask your question. I believe you would like to ask question to Dr.
Yeah.
Hidayat.
Okay, my name is Rizkina Jita. I'm actually now the General Secretary of I-4. Thank you, Pak Andi, for attending online despite of your busy schedule. I'm actually really interested in your presentation, and I was to meet you in person later, maybe in Tokyo or somehow. But maybe it is also going to apply for those as curious about the international standard especially between Indonesia and Japan. As you mentioned, and actually been doing research on nutmeg for the past 13 years, which is aflatoxin is also one of the big issues in agribusiness management for the nutmeg production. But listening to your presentation, the gap between Japan and Indonesia is very high. Well, while Indonesia following, I think, the international standard of 50 RPM for the aflatoxin infection, while Japan really has their own limitation of 10, which is at actually 1/5, and then it's actually it's stricter than the common international standard comparing to the European Union and even the USDA standard. So from your experience of working with the Indonesian embassy and also the Japanese government, has there been issues or strategies that the Indonesian government have conducted in between Indonesia and Japan to adjust that gap, so that the Indonesian products, especially the nutmeg, can enter into Japan market, especially because I think it's going to cause relation to the production in the field itself, whether the regulation has been applied to the field and is distributed the information to those actually produced in the field, to how so they can fulfill the Japanese standard. Thank you.
No, thank you for the question. I think one of our program to narrow this gap is the exchange of the food safety exchange program. That is one of the the program to narrow the gap. But this is not specific for nutmeg and not specific for aflatoxin. But we aim to target to see the what is Japan background of implementing this food safety for the products which is entered to Japan, and how can Indonesia adapt to the situation. So beside this food safety exchange program, we develop the good agricultural practices for commodities which will export to Japan. So one of the big commodities like nutmeg, and also for coffee. We also have this problem for coffee, not only for nutmeg. So now we are trying to develop these good agricultural practices. But again, the challenge is now the Indonesian farmer is mostly smallholder farmers. So making their compliance of these agricultural practices is, there's need to have a constant supervision from local government. That is a challenge. But yeah, that's I think if we can discuss further on this of your project, and what is the possibility of your project can be adapted in Indonesia, and I think that will be very beneficial for us, Ibu Rizkina. So hoping to have this collaboration in the near future.
Thank you, Pa. We're coming to the embassy soon.
Right. I'll go. Embassy. So, but I would like to ask to Professor Rifin first, because it's about presentation about research grant, because I think in the future when Shimane University would like to collaborate with Indonesian universities, is there any grant scheme, research grant scheme, they would be able to be applied that we well, not only Shimane University, but also my institution, for example, like Wakayama College. If we would like to collaborate with Indonesian universities, is there any grant that we can apply from Indonesia rather than from Japan, or at least a matching up grant? So probably we can apply something in Japan, and then the Indonesian side could apply something in Indonesia, so that so basically we can pay each other's air tickets, for example, or bento or something like that. Please.
And
I think we can hear you.
yeah, for universities, based on my experience, we have I have mentioned about the green and LPDP. For universities, we have the community of education, the BIMA. So BIMA is more for a personal grant.
Okay.
So when they have the collaboration, I think they have a good chance to get. So I think, like I mentioned before, it's better first to get to know each other first. Then maybe after knowing, maybe they can collaborate from the Asian side. So maybe, sometimes they can also give funding, for example, for transportation.
Yes.
Yeah. So I think that will be good. Although there are several schemes, for the delegation, I think after knowing each other, I think they can have such collaboration. So that's more on personal relations for especially for universities lecturer. I think that will be a very good chance to get collaborate and get from the Indonesian government through this organization.
Thank you very much. And one thing also, because many of us here are working on agricultural sciences or marine sciences or even natural resources, many of us, of course, works on actual samples rather than just files or data. So we of course understand the importance of ABS, the fair benefit sharing and so on and so forth. So when we need, sometimes the application is very complicated. So would it be possible for Japanese institutions, when they need to apply something, to ask the embassy of Indonesia to support or to help? Because sometimes it's too complicated, too many paperwork and stuff like that. So if we can get some guidelines or at least some advice on probably being supported, so that we of course we do not want to go against the law, being unfair, but then sometimes the paper is too difficult and we ended up getting fined, or we are unable to get samples and so on and so forth, so our research would get hampered. So is there any possibility, or if there is any scheme from the Embassy of Indonesia to help supporting our research in this point of view?
My simple answer is yes.
Oh,
So no, because we have one of the complete attaché in Tokyo. We have the agriculture attaché, we have the forestry, we have the finance attaché. If we bring some laboratory materials, then we have trade attaché. So yeah, I think sometimes it's cross ministries, right?
Yes.
So not only education, but I think it will be possible that as long as maybe there's the regulation.
yes.
So one experience that I've been working on the Faculty of Marine Fisheries, public faculties trying to bring laboratory machinery, from Tokyo, from Japan, and to be, it's not new. So to bring to Bogor.
Yeah.
So there's a regulation on that. So if Japanese university would like to send the old
Equipments.
apparatus or to Indonesian universities, there's already a regulation on that, so they can send without any taxes, something like that. So that's one example. So we can collaborate, and I asked the attaché of finance, and there's a regulation.
We were bringing arowana samples to Japan, for example.
So we brought arowana in Venezuela, right?
Right.
Yeah. So I think I don't know how, but I think it's been done.
Okay.
Although the arowana is from the previous president, so
Right. It's a different channel, probably.
Thank you.
Thank you very much. Okay, because it's like about 20 minutes behind the schedule. I would like to close the first session, the keynote speech session. I would like to just go ahead to the second.
Final session. Maybe we will have a group pictures first, just in case Pak Andi have.
All right,
Yeah.
so we're going to have a group picture first, because probably Dr. Hidayat might have to, if there is some duties to perform. So probably we would like to take group pictures. How do we do that? We
Okay.
do it the offline and online, or
Okay, so
Photoshop or whatever.
okay, so I think if the I-4 team can hear me, I think I will assign the camera for all the offline participants to sit here. Or should we go into the front?
Maybe the front.
Yeah, maybe,
Front's better.
yeah. Go to the front.
Yeah.
暗い。暗い。
でも後ろが
逆に前の方に来てもらった。前に来てもらった方がいいかも。And then, if all the participants can open your camera.
Halo, kedengaran kah?
Yap, Wolf, foto ya.
Ya,
Ini
katakan.
yang explore aku majukan ke depan dulu.
Bisa
Iya,
di kuncinya, itu ada yang mau minta masuk lagi.
Gak ada, bukan nanti udah gak ada.
Udah.
Rekan-rekan semuanya,
Oh, nanti dia Ocha
Tolong nyalakan kameranya.
Ocha
Ya, sebentar nanti aku adjust kamera yang di sini ya. Participants, for all those participating online, you can help us opening your camera
pakai
if
HP,
possible.
pakai HP di sono. Tapi ini dibuat supaya ini kali
Spotlight dimatiin aja dulu kali ya.
biar semua orang bisa
Nah,
masuk.
terus spotlightnya dibikin Pak Andi sama kita aja kali ya.
Enggak, biar kelihatan juga peserta dong.
Oh iya, sama all participants aja nggak usah di ini. Nah, oke, ini juga bisa, tapi jadi kecil-kecil ya.
Oh, jadi all participant aja.
Nggak usah pakai, iya, Wal. Nggak usah pakai spotlight kali ya.
All participants.
Oke, jadi
Itu
semuanya
Andi
bisa ya.
biar gede atau kelihatannya langsung atas.
Nah,
Nah,
oke.
gitu.
Can we see us? Ini
Tapi
gimana
itu
ya?
tuh, tapi yang cuma nama doang.
Iya.
Gimana ini? Nggak ada
It's
kalau nggak
okay.
ada pasang. Andi nih gede.
Nanti masuk ke belakang.
Masuk dua.
Kameranya kamera apa nih? Terus kita baca masuk ke Wow, bisa tolong spotlight aku nggak? Wow, jadi kita yang di sini. Aku mau ngecek dulu seberapa masuk. Simasen, choto hidari ni use としてもらっていいですか？はい、ちょっとで、なんとあえて、分かった。大丈夫、大丈夫。で、一旦、全部。これが、yang dibahas bisa pakai di foto. Banyak bantuin foto kan ya? Perlu, cuma Niki mau lebarin biar yang masuk lebih gede. Kecil kan ya? Iya, benar. Ke tengah aja ya. Setelah mundur nih, harus mundur. Ke kanan, kira-kira.
Oke.
Bentar lah, aku naik. Oke.
Oke.
Mate. Wah, matikan ya. Ya. Mas Arif, rapat dikit, Mas. Oke. Siap. Ini di spotlight
Oke,
ya. Tapi
pas lah.
coba di ini aja dulu. Nanti kita foto juga kok dari yang di sini.
Oke.
Nah, sebentar. Berarti spotlight matikan aja biar peserta bisa masuk semua.
Oke.
Oke. I think we're good to go.
Masuk nggak?
Iya, oh iya, sebentar. Iki di belakang Mas Arif.
Sudah? Pak Kiki udah?
Sebentar, coba di spotlight Pak Andi, di belakang.
Ini tidak perlu pakai Photoshop.
Nggak bisa
Ini dua spotlight.
Iya.
Pak Andi sama kita di sini.
Tapi ntar pesertanya kecil-kecil. Kalau nggak satu tanpa spotlight aja. Jadi spotlight nggak, Mbak?
Belum, kayaknya masih.
Yes.
Spotlight apa? Aku sama Pak Andi. Ini yang udah di tag pictures.
Oke, wait ya.
Mau yang mana dulu sekarang?
Ini saya spotlight Pak Andi
Oke,
sama
spotlight dulu ya,
spotlight dulu sama yang ini.
sama lokasi ya.
Oke.
Oke, nanti baru semua spotlight dihapus, take off. Interupsi.
Oke. Kita 3 kali foto ya. Siap Mbak Kiki?
Siap, ready.
3, 2, 1. Oke. 2 kali lagi. 3, 2, 1. Mau gaya bebas Mbak Kiki? Atau gimana?
Mau gaya bebas atau gimana katanya? Nggak usah
Gaya
katanya.
bebas. Ya udah. 3, 2, 1. Oke. Gimana sekarang?
Oke.
Semuanya?
Thank you.
Gimana Mbak Kiki?
Oke,
Semuanya?
we're good to go. Tadi yang dia spotlight juga udah diambil ya?
Udah semuanya
Oke,
sih.
aman. Alright, I think we are finished the first session for the keynote speech, and maybe let's take a 5 minutes break. Or just go ahead. Everyone's tired. Well, you can take a break on your own, I guess.
Yeah.
Alright, so I think we will start. This is 11:33 now in Japan. And I think everyone is in Indonesia 9:33, 2 hours behind. So maybe we will soon starting the session for the panel sessions. The second session will be delivering
Invited speakers.
invited speakers, which is I supposed to moderate. Wait, oh, wait. Okay. I think this is think of. All right, we are good to go. All right. Before do. Okay. But first of all, first of all, I would like to thank you for all the keynote speech, Professor Masunaga and Professor Matsumoto from Shimane University, Professor Amzurifin and Dr. Andi Hidayat from the Indonesian Embassy in Tokyo for delivering a very insightful and then very informative presentations that will be leading for the further collaboration between Indonesia and Japan, especially through the Shimane University. So the second session, I will be leading as the moderator. Maybe some of you have known me as part of the I-4. So before inviting our first presenters, I would like to give a brief information that currently I serve as the General Secretary of I-4 with Dr. Fatwa Abdi from Hong Kong City University as the leader of the I-4. And currently, if you see here in Zoom, is all our teams from Media and Publication Division. And I'm currently also work as an assistant professor at the Department of International Food and Agricultural Science, Tokyo University of Agriculture, Japan. So our first speaker for the second sessions will be, it will start from Professor Begin first. Okay, Associate Professor Dr. Begin Subhan from IPB University will be delivering his talks about fisheries. Am I right?
A little bit.
A little bit. Okay, so hang on a second. Begin. Naik. Aduh. Kocika. Iya. All right. I think we're good to go. Here we now, the C. Second. Okay. So, Dr. Begin, the floor is yours.
Okay, good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen, and thank you very much for I-4 impact for the opportunity and Shimane University who invite us to share about the collaboration, and I think today I will share about the collaboration through the education and research, and then I will give some information related to IPB, and I hope we can start new collaboration with the IPB and the Shimane University, and also others universities in other countries. And this is the, let's start with based on the QS ranking. IPB University is ranked 426 world university, and one of our major strength is in subject of agriculture and forestry, and in which we are currently ranked in 51 in the world and 7 in Asia, and the first in Southeast Asia. And IPB is deeply committed to support the UN sustainability SDGs as reflect in our performance in the time higher impact ranking, that where IPB is ranked in top 10 globally, and for the 3 SDGs. Nationally, we have been consist of being recognized by the Indonesian SDGs award as the best university in 2023 and 2022 and 23. And what is on just a bit snapshot of our number. We have a university with around 33,000 students covering the undergraduates and graduate students with around 900 international students. And this is the campus. We have Dermaga, Valencia, and about the 707.2 hectares. And others facility, Saint Technopark and Pelabuhan Ratu Fisheries and Marine Science. And this is also marine station. We have marine station in Seribu Islands. So this is the Seribu Islands and near to Jakarta. And we have in Pulau Pramuka and Tidung Island, and only 70 minutes from Jakarta, Ancol. And this is the activity, speedboat, experimental, homestay, and lab center, and also education activities, in the islands. And we have several faculty and schools. The new schools is schools of engineering and also School of Data Science and Mathematics. And me, as I belong to the Faculty of Fisheries and Marine Science. So about now 13, and in Indonesia, some study program we should have international accreditation. So we have from landscape, forest, and food tech, also semis and business, and several most of them from ASEAN agency. So this is the collaborator. Surprisingly, Japan is the most collaborators in with the IPB, about 117, and and here me and Davin Sensei as a collaborator with the Wakai Mangkoseng, and then the Europe. I think yeah, IPB with Japan is a very long collaboration. Yeah, and yeah, it's good. We start now, and it's the research innovation. We have International Research Institute. Yeah, and a lot of research center. Yeah, related to the core food, yeah, nutrition, International Institute for Social Economic, Environment and Climate Change, yeah, and advanced technology, maritime and fisheries. So this is the consortia. Yeah, a lot of consortia from Europe, the EAD, from the Wood ID, Wageningen, yeah, INRIF, Resilience Reach, yeah. I'm joined the INRIF consortia, yeah, for the resilience of the richest coral reefs, yeah. And then actually in last 2 years, we initiate the Indonesia Bacterial and Genetic Research Network, yeah, a group for marine and fisheries. So we are connected, yeah, with the other university to gather information related to biotechnology and genetics, yeah. And with the Wakayama Hoseng, yeah, we have research with David Sensei, yeah, about the marine biodiversity research and environment monitoring, then a barcoding, yeah, environmental DNA, and soon shark and rays. I think it's also big issues. And me with the Wageningen and Naturalis in Netherlands, we study about marine time machine related to climate. Yeah, in as a model is tropical marine lakes. Yeah, tropical marines in Anthropocene. So this is yeah, we study about 25 marine lakes. I think also it's very interesting also about the materials and water quality. It's like a model. Yeah, when in marine lakes there's exposed, non-exposed, and then the condition is related to the what happened. Yeah, just like a prediction. Yeah, in the world for the world. And yeah, this is the international undergraduate program, credit transfer, yeah, summer course, and international seminar. Yeah. So we have an international undergraduate program like smart agriculture, veterinary science, and in my department, yeah, marine science and technology, food tech, and agricultural engineering and business. Yeah. And others, the new program, management, agribusiness, and resource and environmental economic, Sharia economic, biology, and semis. Yeah, they also international program. So we are welcome, yeah, for international program. And the next is the we do like partner and credit earning and summer course in several countries, yeah, from Belgium, Netherlands, and Germany, and South Korea. And in Japan, I have a lot of credit earning and summer course. I think we can do also in Shimane in the future, yeah. So in and some program is related to the research. Yeah, in Japan with the Wakayama Koseng, we do like credit earning. Yeah, we initiate with David Sensei for the earning, and also one of my colleague from New Zealand. Yeah, we do like summer course together in Wakatobi. So this is the highlight. Yeah, our last this year. Yeah. Wakayama Koseng students visits IPB for summer school. Yeah, there is a lot of activity. We visit the coach about they learn about the Indonesian cultural, especially Sundanese. Yeah, since we are in Bogor, And yeah, we visit our research field in Seribu Islands and bring the students. And now, yeah, my students, yeah, also visit Wakayama Koseng, yeah, 5 students in the Davin Sensei laboratory. Yeah, they learn about the genetics and genomics for 2 weeks. So this is we already in the first week, yeah, and then in 60s we will back to Indonesia. I think this is a good experience also for Indonesian students, especially for the learning the work ethics in Japan, yeah, discipline, and then every day they say, don't put this, and I think yeah, that's a definitely job, yeah, not me, yeah, because this is definitely a laboratory, and yeah, this is our collaboration also, yeah, with the Victoria University of Wellington, yeah. We do like summer course in Wakatobi, so yeah, this is a good experience also with the for our students, yeah. And we are doing the dual master degree in marine science and marine biotechnology with the National Sun Yat-sen University, Taiwan. Yeah, so this related to double degree, student exchange, yeah, training and joint supervision. Yeah, we send 3 students, yeah, to Sun Yat-sen University for international student, yeah, for the 1 semester. Yeah. They study there, and after that they open class for international, so for English English class, yeah, because I think same here, yeah, in Taiwan they have problem with the population. Not many recruits, yeah, come, so yeah, Indonesia will support you, yeah, because Indonesia have a 250 something million people, and yeah, in our university we have, in marine science we have 120 students every year. So I think if we can bring them, half of them, to Shimane, it's very crowded now in Shimane, yeah. Indonesian, everything, and they will start Bogor, ya, we start warung warung, ya, in here, and warung Padang, Pak. So you should make a warung Padang, ya, here, gitu. Boleh. So this is double degree. I think this is a chance, yeah. And yeah, this is the consortia for the education, yeah. So I think we can make also the consortia. We have some consortia, yeah, like Oceanos, yeah. So we send a student. This is a join with the Tokyo University of Marine Science, yeah, and some university in Indonesia and Asia Pacific, yeah. And about the entrepreneurship, yeah, for the ecosystem, we have research, innovation, and science technopark that continue to matching, yeah, the innovation from the university to industries, yeah. So we have huge park for technopark, probably as big as this campus, yeah. Probably, yeah. Yes. And then yeah, this yeah, also we develop 117 startup, yeah, tenant is from our students and alumni. So this is the, yeah, this 32, yeah, since 94. And we have also the innovation outlets, yeah, Serambi Botani. And it will be going global, yeah, so send some products to Asia and also Europe, yeah. Like pineapple and something. I think this is also help from the agriculture. Yeah, Pak Andi, yeah, help us. And for sociopreneur, yeah, we have a community learning center, one village, one CEO, and social farming, yeah. So we have a program for community learning, like dosen mengabdi, dosen pulang kampung. So dosen should go to their field, their hometown, and doing like community outreach there, bring the technology from IPB, and yeah, they do that, yeah. And we have a yeah, this is a one village with CEO, and related to the agribusiness and technology part, yeah, connect to farmer to modern market. And yeah, I think that's all my presentation. I hope this give you insight, yeah, about the IPB, and we are very welcome to collaborate any kind of activity. That's why we change the branding, not a Bogor Agricultural University. So if we say Bogor Agricultural University, oh, you just work in agriculture. And now we choose IPB University. So we work in anything, yeah. Even medicine. Yeah. We have a medical school, yeah, now, and data science, yeah, and technology. So once again, thank you very much.
Thank you very much, Dr. Begin, for giving us a brief introduction about IPB University and the potential cooperation that we can have between Shimane University and other institutions in Japan. I think today's event is very insightful, not only from one institution, but from many. So we really deliver the wide aspects of Indonesia from the government side and then from the academic institution side, which is related to the natural and agricultural bioresources. Okay, so we will welcome our next speaker, Assistant Professor Dr. Rosalia Natalia. She's Indonesian, but she's now working as an assistant professor and lecturer in Shimane University. And she graduated from Gajah Mada University before continuing her graduate school in Japan, both in Yamagata University and Iwate University. So she has covered like both northern and now western part of Japan. So we would like to hear her presentation. Just give me a second to switch the slides. Oh, Shimane itu. I think you have somehow 15 minutes, but if you can make it brief, we can continue with the second presentation. Thank you. Okay, Dr. Rosa, the floor is yours.
Thank you very much, Kiki Sensei, and good afternoon. Already almost 12th year. Good afternoon, everyone, professors. Hello, online participants. Thank you for coming to today's symposium. I know this is almost 12th year, so maybe everyone hungry, and I will get back to talk about rice. So please stand for the hungry situation. The rice. So today I will present my recent research about motivation toward rice farming in Margokaton Village, Sleman District, Yogyakarta Province, especially in Indonesia. And yeah, my name is Rosa, already Kiki Sensei explained. And then, sorry. My major is agricultural economics and farm business management. And this is the contents of today's presentation. I will start with the background, so I will make it quick. As the other professors already mentioned earlier, rice is a very important staple food, especially, in many countries, and especially in Indonesia. And as you know, Indonesia becomes the world's top 5 rice producers in 2017. However, the contribution of the agriculture sector itself to the GDP was only about 13.7% in 2020. Why? Well, because Indonesia also faces some problems in agriculture sector. For example, more than 50% of the Indonesian farmers are still categorized as a smallholder farms managing less than 0.50 hectare that you can see from the table 1. And what about the distribution of the farmers' income itself in agricultural activities? Based on the figure 1 here, you can see that 25% came from the paddy or the food crops, and 33%, the highest one, came from the plantation crops, such as the palm oil, coffee, and so on. And what about the average of the agricultural income from the paddy itself? Per year, only 12.4 million Indonesian rupiah. So this is very low. The other problems is there is the increasing elder farmers followed by the decreasing young farmers, which has also happened in Japan. And this is very severe problem now. However, like Masunaga Sensei earlier already mentioned, since 1917 up to present, the Indonesian government still support the rice farming activity. And the famous program is the Green Revolution. And nowadays, government also started the project of the organic rice farming and so on. So this is in more detail in figure 3, the percentage of the decreasing of young people involved in the agriculture sector per year is about 3.2% from 2007 to 2011. Well, there is the recent policy of the farmland that gives the great hope for young farmers to acquire the farmland because agricultural land will be given to the farmers who do not own land and have worked on the land at least for 5 years. But the purpose is just to improve the wealth of farmers themselves, and it is not specific to young farmers yet. So the reducing of this number of young people caused the problem of the delayed management of farm succession or the regeneration of farmers in Indonesia. And this is also, wait a minute. And this is caused by the low level of education, lack of technology, high cost of agricultural inputs, land conversion, and fragmentation. And one of the problems that caused this fragmentation is the inheritance pattern or system in the rural areas of Indonesia. For example, Indonesia have the 3 legal system for the inheritance, like customary or adat inheritance law, Islamic inheritance law, and the Western inheritance law. So like in Indonesia, other countries, for example, UK, also face the problems of decreasing number of young farmers caused by the aging farmers' unwillingness to pass the farm to young farmers because educational, financial, and motivational reasons. And the motivation of the farmers in Central Java, Indonesia, especially for the cabbage farming, also affected by the age of farmers, education, training, counseling, farming experience, income, and availability of capital. Next slide. Okay, so this is the objective of my research study to determine the motivation of farmers in continuing farming, especially in Yogyakarta province, Indonesia, and in the rural areas. So the hypothesis is to see that the internal and external factors of farmers significantly influence farmers' motivation to continue farming. And this research has been conducted in February to March 2020 with a total sample 82 rice farmers in rural areas. And I used the Alderfer's ERG, Existence Relatedness Growth Theory, because I want to know the motivation of the individual farmers using the Likert scale. And you can see the list of the questionnaire in the table 2. And I use the Spearman's rank correlation coefficient analysis to see the motivation of the farmers. So this is the data analysis, and you can see here the internal factors and external factors in table 3. The total is the 26 variables. Well, this is the results and discussion part. So first, I will tell you the characteristics of the farmers in my study area. So basically, the farmers here dominated by the principal farmers, meaning that they have their own farmland. And there is also tenant farmers, which is they didn't have their own farmland, so they have to rent from the landowners. And then there is also principal tenant farmers. And from this result, the characteristic shows us that more than 90% of the sample has a main occupation as a farmer. So mainly in rural areas, they still involved in agriculture occupation. And then more than 45% of the sample has a side job such as farm labor, farmer, retirement, construction worker, entrepreneur, and others. And most of the farmers acquired the farmland through the inheritance system and also sharecropping system. Under the sharecropping system, landowner and tenant farmers, they will share the harvest or the yield production of agriculture by 50-50. And the source of income in farm households in this area came from agricultural income such as paddy, rice, other crops, fish, and livestock, and non-agricultural income. This is the farmer's motivation to continue farming based on all the first ERG theory analysis. So this result shows that the motivation of farmers to continue farming is categorized as a moderate. Existing needs in this area, especially for the rice farming activities, the income earned by farmers is mostly used for their primary needs, like the food, water, and then shelter, and then secondary needs, and also education for the children. For the relatedness needs shows the result that farmers need interaction and communication with other people or society to develop their farms. And for the growth needs, the farmers want to develop their potential to become more productive. And based on the results here, the relatedness item has the highest motivation rate. It means that the farmers are motivated to engage in farming because they desire to work with other farmers. So this is the chance, actually. And this is the main result. So based on the main results, 10 independent variables has affected the farmers' motivation to continue the rice farming. I will break down here. So in this results based on the existence motivation, there are 6 independent variables affected the motivation of farmers. And the strongest ones came from the variables of the farmland areas and farming experience. For the farmland areas here has significantly and positively related to existence motivation, because the size of a farm and investment in it motivate the farmers to continue farming. However, if the inherited land becomes smaller in the study area, they may not survive on farming. And farming experience has a significant negative relationship, because the average rice farmers in the study area had more than 30 years of experience in farming. However, they learned from their parents, which mostly comprise conventional farming activities. For the motivation based on the relatedness items, there are 5 independent variables that affected farmers' motivation, and the strongest one came from the farmers' household income from crops farming variable. So from this variable has a significant negative relationship. When the farmers are independent enough to establish relationships with outside parties, especially those related to rice marketing, it can increase their motivation to gain more income from the rice farming. And based on the growth motivation, there are 2 independent variables that affected the motivation for farmers to continue rice farming, came from the side jobs variable that has a significant positive relationship, because the engagement of farmers in other occupations can lead to greater of profitability and the continuation of farming. So this is also related to the diversification of the income source in farm households. And then the willingness of farmers to do farming because of their parents' encouragement also has a significant positive relationship. So parents play an important role in transforming young people into farmers. In line with the previous studies, the parents' encouragement also motivates farmers to continue farming, especially in rural and urban areas, so both areas. So in conclusion, my study has clarified that overall, the rice farmers' motivation to continue farming is categorized as moderate. This indicates a potential for maintaining the sustainability of rice farming in the study area. And the internal and external factors that correlated with farmers' motivation to continue farming can be used to determine farmer motivation and assess the future of rice farming. For the recommendation itself, first, formal education can make farmers more advanced and open-minded in accepting and adapting to the breakthroughs in modern agriculture technology like a smart agriculture that facilitate the development of farming. And the second one, the size of farmland and investment in it can motivate farmers to continue farming because it is important to support farmers not to fragment their farmland, or it is important to organize community farming, for example, to consolidate the farmland. And this study only reflected the perspective of current farm managers, i.e. the long-time farmers in single region. Further research should be conducted, particularly from the perspective of young rice farmers in the future. And I mentioned here that community farming is very important. So we can learn from the Japan, especially in the Shimane prefecture. So Shimane prefecture also faced the problem of this situation in agriculture, and they have 3 types of the community farming. For example, the shared use type, contract type, and collaborative management type. So in the future, I would like to conduct the research mainly about the collaborative management type, because shared use type and contract type, I believe we have this kind of the community farming or group farming in Indonesia, but for the collaborative management type is still few. So I guess we can focus on to the development of the collaborative management type. So in here, the collaborative management type, in each member engage in work according to their ability to perform efficient production and profits that are distributed to each member or the farmers according to the share of farmland and work hours they provided based on a pool calculation. From this graph or chart, you can see that organization or community farming will receive the revenue. And then this revenue will become the payment to the farmers that working in the community farming. So when I learned about this community farming in Yamagata Prefecture and also in Shimane Prefecture, I found that there are several benefits from the community farming. For example, the cost reduction of the agriculture inputs activity, especially for the machine or the agriculture machine. For example, in Japan, every farmers that join the community farming, they can share the agriculture machine like the tractor, transplanting machine, harvesting machine, and so on. And they can scale up the average of the farm size, for example, for the Japanese individual farmers from 2 hectares into 20 to 50 hectares in community farming. And also they can secure the farm successors or the young successor for the next generation. So this is the acknowledgement, especially for the Gajah Mada University and Shimane University support program for female researcher-led joint research projects. And actually this research has been published in the Asian Journal of Agriculture and Development. So if you have interested to read in more detail, then you can access this journal. This is the references for today's presentation, and thank you very much for your attention.
Thank you, Dr. Rosa, for presenting your research in this session. And then because we are quite running out of time, so I would like to welcome Mr. Arif. One second, I'll just... Right. And change the files into... Our next speaker will be Arif. Mr. Arif Antonius Purnama. He's actually the lecturer from the University of Pasir Pangarayan University in Indonesia, in Riau. And he is currently obtaining a PhD, a doctoral degree in Shimane University under, okay, I haven't shared, sorry. Oh. Please. Oh, materita. Ay, okay. Narata. 無事で伝わってください。Okay. Okay. So Mr. Arif is currently if everyone on this floor and online can see the files. Okay. Mr. Arif is currently obtaining a doctoral degree in Shimane University under supervision of Professor Masunaga, and he will be presenting and he's under the MAX program. So it is actually one of the real example on how exchange between Indonesia and Japan can actually give opportunity for Indonesian scholars to obtain degree in Japan through the partnership and then through the scholarship programs. So without further ado, Mr. Arif, the floor is yours. Yeah.
Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. I'm Arif Antonius Purnama from Indonesia. Today I would like to share my research. It's about one of biodiversity in Indonesia and related to the land use change. So I'm going to talk about the effect of land use change on soil erosion and relation to water ecosystem, to population of Asian arowana Sclerophagus formosus golden red in Sumatra Island, Indonesia. Indonesia is one of the mega biodiversity country. We have more than 100,000 species. It's including plant, vertebrates, invertebrates of animals. And today I'm going to talk about one of the species that was threatened among 1,248 freshwater fish in Indonesia. And 111 of that is threatened. One of that is arowana golden red. And the importance of this fish is surviving primitive or ancient fish. So, and this fish also famous among hobbyists, and the price is also expensive. And in national and international societies, this fish including an endangered species, and this fish only found in Rokan Hulu region, Riau Province, Sumatra, Indonesia. And because of that, the region of Rokan Hulu decide that area to be a conservation area. What happened in that area? I'm going to talk about the whole Sumatra first. As we can see in the picture, in 1985, Sumatra Island has 58% of natural forest, and by 2016 it's just remaining 24%. And the amount of the decreasing almost 4 million hectare, and most of that was changed to be oil palm plantation. And this is the area of my research. As we can see the comparison before it's green and now becoming like and look only a soil there. But we have to consider how the oil palm plantation in Indonesia. Indonesia is one of the leading countries in the global palm oil production. In 2019, Indonesian palm oil production reached 42.86 million tons and account to be for 57% of the world total palm oil production. And Indonesia only consumes 35% of that, and remaining that export to the across various countries like Asia 64%, Europe 16%, Africa 13%, America, Oceania, and other countries. But because of that, previously in Sumatra, we are facing the effect of the land use change to be oil palm plantation, kind of the extinction or critical threat for the some species like orangutan, Sumatran tiger, Sumatran rhinos, and Sumatran elephants. And now in Arowana Golden Red Conservation Area, they try to dry that swamp forest by making a big canal. And then when it's becoming dry, it's ready to plant a new oil palm plantation. And our research is investigate how the soil erosion and nutrient loss there, and how the water quality changes, and how the arowana population changes. Now I'm going to talk about the material and methods. So we conduct 2 sessions of research. So we identified all the species in that area, which is we take a sample in the upstream, middle stream, and downstream. And then among on that area, we identified fish diversity, benthos diversity, plankton diversity, and we map land use change in that area, and also we estimate of soil erosion rate. For erosion rate, we use usually method, and we conduct by GIS or GIS modeling by using quantum GIS. And for the session 2, we just focus to one part of that area because arowana only found in that area. So there we focus to analyze the water quality, and we cut arowana around that to investigate how the population there. So for water quality, we use standard method outlined from American Public Health Association, and we comparable that with arowana water quality standard from Minister of Marine and Fisheries of Republic Indonesia, and the water quality, pollution, and trophic level comparison with we compare with the South Asia Region Center for Tropic Biology. And for arowana, we captured them with the fish net, fish trap, and we analyzed the density, body depth, and body length. And we classified the arowana that we found with the small size, medium size, large size, big size, and super big size. So the result in 2020 to 2021, we found the species richness, this is 29 species with the abundance individual of 227, and the benthos with 7 species with abundant 166 individual, and the plankton is just 11 species with abundance that's 31 individuals. And the interesting there, the 29 species in this area is higher than the other swamp forests in Indonesia and Malaysia, which is only found 13 species. And for the one of the genus benthos, we find Egdioneros, which is the bioindicator for river pollution. And then we found the genus Rapania for plankton. This is the genus also for indicator water quality pollution. And this is the list of the species of fish that we found. This is arowana. We found in 2020 to 2021 30 species, 30 individuals. And this is the genus of benthos that we found, and the plankton species. And about the land use change between 2017 to 2021, you can see here oil palm plantation is the one largest land use in this area. Coverage from 60% to 74%, which is increased about 500 hectares between 2017 to 2021. And that situation was making swamp and swamp forest, that's the habitat of arowana, decreasing. It's only decreasing like swamp from 24% to 6%, and then swamp forest from 7 to 4%. And this is the map of the comparison between 2017 to 2021. This is the area of arowana habitat. And in 2021, it's becoming green to be a new oil palm plantation. And when it's become dry, even the water body is still there in the canal, big canal, arowana cannot use that for his home, their home range, because mostly arowana live in the Pandanus helicopus. It's the plant, which is the root of this plant giving the territory or home range for arowana living. When the pandan was lost, arowana was disappeared from that area. And about the soil erosion, we exit that area of the new oil palm plantation from analysis, because sometimes it's still flooding, and the use method cannot work in that type of land use. And we found we estimate the erosion rate here, which is in the moderate categorized in arowana conservation area. And about the water quality still can give living for arowana, because no water quality standard exceed from the water quality standard for arowana living. But on the other hand, for pollution level, this water in the arowana conservation area was in category likely polluted. And for phosphates, it's make this area to be trophic and very trophic level. And that is because of some frequency of fertilizer applied there. And then about the arowana golden red population, in total we found it 82 individuals between 2021 to 2023. And we predict that arowana golden red does not have specific breeding period. And with this population, they can be sustained. And we are going to the conclusion. So the conversion of the natural landscape in arowana golden red area to oil palm plantation has significantly reduced the extent of swamp and swamp forests. Soil erosion around the habitat of the arowana golden red is generally at moderate level in very trophic and likely polluted water quality. However, the remaining swamp and swamp forests still provide essential habitat for aquatic organisms, including arowana also, which show a high biodiversity index compared to other regions, Kalimantan and Malaysia. And the arowana golden red habitat at Middle Mato is currently limited with a very small population. So we suggest prioritizing the conservation of the remaining swamp and swamp forests in that area is crucial to protect the endangered arowana golden red from the adverse effect of the future land conversion. Establishing conservation habitat and maintaining well-regulation population are essential steps to prevent the species from nearing extinction. That's all my presentation. Thank you very much for your attention.
Thank you, Mr. Ali, for giving us insightful presentation about arowana. I actually had one at home before it died. But yeah, I never know that it can be related to the oil palm plantation from where it's the natural habitat. Okay, so we will invite our last speakers for today. I can stream. Okay. There you go. It will be. Professor Yoshimura from Shimane University. He will be talking about, he is currently the faculty member of the Life and Environmental Sciences in Shimane University, and he will be talking about the agroforestry collaboration, where he did quite long work with IPB University, and he will share his research in Indonesia. Yeah. Sorry. Okay. Professor Yoshimura, without further ado, the floor is yours.
Bapak-bapak, ibu-ibu, selamat siang. My name is Tetsuhiko Yoshimura. Today, I'd like to share my experience about forest conservation in Gunung Wara Forest, University Forest, IPB University. I have some problem of my voice and throat. Sometimes my speaking is not clear today. Sorry about that. This is the map of Gunung forest. Does anybody go there before? I went there, I think maybe more than 5 times. And here is a map of Indonesia. And this university forest is actually near Sukabumi. Near Sukabumi. And at that time, year 2000, I think year 2003, at that time, Suharto regime collapsed, and in Indonesia, everything was very difficult, and they are lacking of money, and a lot of poor people, no law enforcement, many logging mafia give bribe to police, and they just cut big trees. So illegal logging is the harvest, transportation, purchase, or sales of timber in violation of laws. In the early 2000, illegal logging by local people was frequently observed in the Gunung University forest. So measures were required. So that was raising collection and profit sharing. The university forest allowed registered local residents to collect resin from agatis trees. The university forest bought the resin at 600 rupiah per kilogram from local people. And university forest sold it to the market at 2,500 rupiah per kilogram. This is very clever system. As a result, illegal logging in the university forest has almost ceased. That is important. As local people have recognized the forest as a source of income, that's why local people stop illegal cutting. So this is a landscape of agatis tree plantation in this university forest. And local people collected resin like this. And this is resin in the bucket. So another measure is firewood collection. The university forest allowed local residents to collect firewood. Then local people have recognized the forest as a source of energy. So there is another reason to stop illegal logging. So this is a picture of firewood collection in the university forest. So another measure is agroforestry. The university forest allowed the registered local residents to conduct agroforestry under agatis trees. Then local people have recognized the forest as a source of food. That is most important. So this is agroforestry. There are trees and actually this tree is not so many, and under canopy they grow vegetables and other food products. So this is a GIS system at that time. Yes. So they're making paper GIS database system like this. So this is paper, actually legal paper for contraction with local people. So it shows here is you can grow this vegetable here like that. And this is a planning of agroforestry. And Dama is agatis tree, banana, kaplaga, coffee. They all made plan about what to grow in the forest. And this one also planning banana, agatis. Single is maybe kind of tree, you know. And now this is kind of okay. That is chili, maybe sambar. But is like, is it rice?
Yeah.
Okay. So they all made a plan about this. And this picture shows coffee growing under forest canopy. This is kaplag, cardamom, kaplag. This is pisang. This is maybe taro, I think. Taro, is it okay? Taro. And this is singkong, cassava singkong. And this shows additional source of income for the university forest. Actually, at that time, university forest didn't have enough budget. So they asked me, do you want to plant agatis tree in the forest? So I answered, yes, of course, yes. So this is me at a young age, in the young age. So yes, I was planting agatis tree there. So they put this memorial stone in the forest, and they charged me. I remember half million rupiah. So that is a very good way to getting budget from foreigners. But I was very satisfied about this. And this is another place. It's not university forest. This is Gunung National Park, Gunung Halimun National Park. This place is actually near, I think it's here, near Bogor anyway. So in this national park, biodiversity conservation project was carried out by JICA, Japan International Cooperation Agency, and ecotourism was promoted there, but there were almost no visitors, mainly due to the bad road conditions. So road condition is like this. So nobody wants to go there from Bogor, from Jakarta, but maybe situation is different nowadays. So we hired this type of car and we went there. So this is a research station inside National Park, constructed by JICA fund. So always JICA put such plate on their buildings. And they also constructed 3 towers. This tower is to observe insects and plant behavior and everything in canopy. And there is waterfall, beautiful waterfall. And this is tour guide, ecotourism tour guide. He taught us how to get very clean water inside forest. If you cut some plant, we can get clean water. And in this national forest, there are residents, actually residents. They live here for generations. Very long time they lived here. And their house is like this, and many children and poetry. And this picture shows children playing and goat and I don't know, meh, like that. So many animals. And but actually they must leave this national park, live here, because they don't own this land legally. And at that time, this area was designated as a national park. So they must leave and they must change their life. So that was a problem. So what happened there? Actually, illegal logging happened in the national park. Illegal logging by local people was frequently observed in national park. The boundaries of the national park were determined without the consent of the local people. And many of the people living inside the national park were considered trespassers and evicted. They must get away. These people had no choice other than engaging in illegal logging because they had lost their source of income. They lost everything and they must move out national park. So which management is better, IPB or government with JICA? So the answer is very clear. IPB stopped illegal logging, but JICA, government and JICA, they couldn't stop that illegal activities. And I always ask students, in order to conserve tropical forest, should we utilize them or protect them? Actually, the answer is utilize. Utilization is better. So IPP promoted utilization of forest, but JICA tried to protect national park. So we know the answer to this question. So this is another story in Gunung Forest. I was doing this digital environmental education in this university forest at that time. So year 2003, we didn't have smartphone. We didn't have a phone like this. So we used the small computers with GPS receiver. So we made such question about cardamom. And we asked question on the computer. Students learn in the forest with computer. And sometimes this question appears on the monitor and they choose correct answer. So here I have a quiz, which food is cardamom used? The correct answer is padang food. So this is explanation about padang food. So IPB students are very pleased to collaborate with us. So they are students from IPB campus. And IPB student is doing answering quiz. And here is actually on the top of head, there is a GPS antenna. So, so they use GPS in the forest. So this is a result. I'm not sure this is interesting to you, but this is a evaluation of this system. They mostly they answered positive evaluation, but accuracy was actually bad because the GPS didn't work under Agatis big canopy. So this shows the rate of correct answer in the experiment. So this is the rate of correct answers. Probably it's too complicated, but anyway, this is a result. More than 80% of the participants say this system is excellent or good. But 40% answered this is not accurate because GPS didn't work. So this is last slide. They are alumni from Kyoto University, and they had at that time they had this type of alumni meeting every month, and I joined at this occasion. And actually, I didn't use much time to make this presentation because I show this presentation students in my class every year for my class. So totally, as of now, totally 1,500 students watched this presentation, and maybe today it became 1,600. Thank you very much for your attention.
Thank you Professor Ishimura for a wonderful presentation. It's delightful for us to see your experiments of you doing a research in agroforestry in Indonesia. Okay, so because we have over 25 minutes behind, so maybe I will just open one single questions if there is someone who want to ask to our invited speakers. Okay, very good. No? Okay. No, I think okay. Okay, so oh, sorry. Please. Please. Oh, okay. It's here, Nick. Okay. All right. So I think we have come to the end of our event today for the half-day global symposium on natural and agricultural bioresources management. So we would like to thank everyone, all the keynote speakers and invited speakers who have delivered their presentations and shared with us their research and studies both in Indonesia and the potential collaboration between Japan and Indonesia. And lastly, we would like to welcome Professor Yoshida from Shimane University to give a closing remarks of our today's event. And Dr. Davin will give a short introduction of Professor Yoshida.
Okay, so Professor Yoshida is the director of Oki Marine Biological Station of Shimane University, and is my long-term collaborator. We have been doing a lot of research regarding biodiversity, not mainly on marine organisms, but not only marine organisms. We also work on some terrestrial and plant and microbe biodiversity. So, Professor Yoshida, the time is yours.
Okay, so I want to conclude this symposium today. First of all, I'd like to thank all speakers and participants in this session, especially from two people coming from embassy. And very thank you for the presentations. Then I recognized now Shimane University has many tight connection with Indonesia, and we have same topic of interest. Then probably Andy Sensei explained, so the science can make a policy style or our way of thinking. So I think we can share, we already shared idea was shared the same trend, same thinking of between Japan and Indonesia. So we can start collaboration from now. I think it will be more tough and enough to make more, say, many vegetable rice in future. Then thank you all participants, and thank you from participants from Indonesia. So if you want some more information from Shimane University, so please send email to me. I'm Yoshida from Shimane University, or maybe you can send email to I-4 for introducing us. Maybe you can connect in near future. Thank you all.
Thank you very much, Professor Yoshida. And we would like to as a part of I-4, as a representative I-4, I would like to personally thank Shimane University, Professor Masunaga, and all the faculty members, Professor Amzur Rifin, Dr. Andi Hidayat from the Indonesian Embassy of Tokyo, for collaborating with us and holding this global symposium for the scientific cluster. And we apologize for some of technical issues, since it's conducted in 2 hours different alike of time between Japan and Indonesia. And we would like to thank you all the participants online, both from Indonesia and Japan. It has been an honor for us to have all of you here and attending this event and exchanging knowledge and information. We would like to hope for further collaboration between Indonesia and Japan, and not only Shimane University and many of other institutions in Japan, including those in academic institutions in Indonesia. So for this, I would like to close this event and thank you for all the participants. And I would like to send my gratitude for the all media and publication of I-4 team from Indonesia who has been assisting us from the very beginning. Wabillahi taufiq wal hidayah. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Thank you very much. Dos. Singing. Oh ya, sudah ya, sudah foto ya. Oke.
Andi, makasih banyak.
Pandi, terima kasih banyak.
Pak Ipi.
Oh, ada Pak Ipi ya?
Pak Ipi.
Oke,
kalau gitu udah join Prof. Hermansyah. Terima kasih banyak sudah join.
Andi, aku yang makan.
Enggak, well, boleh di spotlightnya dimatikan aja. Oh ya, bisa.
Oke, wait.
Ya, kita foto dulu sama Pak Ipi sama
Kita
Pak
foto
ini ya.
sama Pak Ipi dan
Satu,
Bentar.
Masih ada? Oh, iya. 1, 2.
3.
Terima kasih banyak, Pak. Thank you so much. Pandi, thank you so much, and I will be. Oh,
Herman
yeah.
Sensei.
Okay. Herman Sensei. Bentar.
Ipi Sensei also join from Gajah Mada University.
Mau gimana?
Ma. Terusnya, kelasnya mau dipakai. Sampai jumpa lagi ya.
Oke, kita buka yuk. Dan di sini baris udah masuk.
Selamat udah. Mbak Kiki, boleh saya rapikan semua?
Terima kasih banyak, Bapak semuanya.
Terima kasih, sukses selalu.
Oh, aja keluar dulu semua.